Hi, welcome back to Marissa Explains It All, and today I'm going to be doing a MAC lipstick collection video with lip swatches. So I will just go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to start with all of my limited edition colors just to get those out of the way, and then I'll move into my regular MAC lipsticks. So I'm going to start with this one. This is a Brooke Shields, and there's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going to grab them. But this one is the Brooke Shields Luster in Gospel, and so there is the Brooke Shields collection Gospel shade. Moving on, I'm going to show you the Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it is a matte formula. So there's Frankenfurter. It's a nice matte red color. And next, I will show you, let's see, this is the Amplified Cream, and it's in the shade Morange. And the packaging on this is limited edition. This shade is actually part of their normal collection. So if you like this color, you can get it in the regular black tube. But this was from their Wash and Dry, I think, this last summer collection. And I always wanted this shade, so that's why I got it in this collection, so I could get the packaging. It is a bright orange shade, and it is a Amplified Cream. You can see it is a very, very bright orange shade. So there is Morange. Next two I'm going to show are from this collection. I don't know the names of the collections, I'm sorry. I'm like really bad at it. I just see stuff that I want and I get it. But this one, the packaging is really cool because it has like fake little water droplets, and honestly, that's probably why I got it. This is Enchanted one, and this is a nude, and it's a matte shade. There is Enchanted one. And the next one that I have from that collection is called Mystical, and it is a cream sheen, and it's more of a rosy tone. So I'll go ahead and try that one on for you. Okay, there is Mystical. And this one is the Viva Glam 2 Rihanna, and it comes in this really beautiful, I love this packaging, it's so pretty. But it is a frosty kind of, I don't know, taupe shade. It's really unique, that's why I got it. Different than anything else I own. So I will go ahead and try that one on. So there is the Viva Glam Rihanna 2. Just a very frosty kind of taupe shade. Okay, so the next ones I'm going to show you are all from different collections, but they're all in the regular packaging, so just the black tube. So I'm not sure which collections they're from. But the first one I apologize for that. But the first one I'm going to show you is Fashion Revival. And I believe that this is part of the matte, it's a matte formula. So it's part of the recently released matte line, and I believe that's a permanent collection, but I got this like way back when they first released it, but it's one that people really like, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it on for you. Okay, so you see it's a really nice, beautiful berry shade, and that's why a lot of people really like it, and I know people were trying to get their hands on it, so that one is Fashion Revival. Now moving on to another matte shade that I know was really stirring the matte collection is Studded Kiss. And again, I got this one like back, I don't know, several years ago. But it is another dark shade, and it is a burgundy kind of shade. More red and brick colored than this Fashion Revival shade that I'm wearing. But it is also a matte formula, and I believe it's part of the matte collection that was just released. So this is Studded Kiss. So there's Studded Kiss, and I'll go ahead and swatch them right next to each other. So here's Studded Kiss, and then here's Fashion Revival. So you can see the difference. Because I know when you're wearing them back to back like that, they can look very similar. But there is Studded Kiss and Fashion Revival, so completely different colors. But here's Studded Kiss on my lips. Danger. I'll start with D is for Danger, and this is the matte shade. And actually, now that I think about it, I believe this one did come out with the matte colors as well. And I'll go ahead and swatch it since it's very similar in the same color family as Studded Kiss and Fashion Revival. There's Studded Kiss, there's Fashion Revival, and there's D is for Danger, which now looking at them, those look really similar, right guys? What do you think? Fashion Revival and D is for Danger. Again, it's also a matte shade, but I will try it on my lips for you, even though you can tell it's pretty close to Fashion Revival, which I just tried on. There's D is for Danger. I feel like in person, I don't know how much you could tell on camera, but in person, Fashion Revival is more purple and D is for Danger is more red. So these next three I'm pretty sure are all from the same collection. And I'm going to start out with the first one, which is Diva-ish. And it is a pink shade, and it is an amplified formula. So here's Diva-ish. It is an amplified formula, so it's creamier than the matte shades that I just tried on. And this next one is called Call the Hairdresser. That's what it looks like, and it is a luster. So it's going to be even creamier than this shade that I have on now. So there's Call the Hairdresser, just a nice coral kind of pink shade. And this next one is Make Me Gorgeous, and it is, as you can see, a coral, and it is also an amplified formula. So there is Make Me Gorgeous. I bought, these came out in the summer, I think, so that's why I think these are more summery shades. Like I would wear this in the summer, I wouldn't necessarily wear it right. Okay, those are all of my limited edition MAC shades. But these next two are the Viva Glam, two of Viva Glam shades that I have. And the first one is Viva Glam 1, and it is a matte shade. And it's a burgundy, and I will swatch it right here next to Studded Kiss so you could see it. So there is Viva Glam 1, and there's Studded Kiss. So Studded Kiss is deeper than Viva Glam 1. I will go ahead and try it on my lips for you. Okay, so there is Viva Glam 1. And the other Viva Glam one that I have is Viva Glam 3, and it is also a matte shade and also a burgundy type shade. And I will swatch it right here next to 1 so you can see it is a lot more brown. So there's Viva Glam 3, Viva Glam 1, and then Studded Kiss in the other limited edition ones. So let me put it on my lips. So here is Viva Glam 3, and for me this is the epitome of a 90s shade. I know that Whirl, which I have and I'll be showing shortly, is what people think like of the 90s shade and the really popular right now, that matte brown, but for me this is the ideal 90s shade. It is a brown, really dark, rich color. It's a shade that I would have totally worn in the 90s. It's darker than Whirl. You know what, I'll go ahead, because those are the last of my limited editions. I'm going to go ahead and show you Whirl right next to this. So you can see there's Whirl and there's Viva Glam 3, and you can see that Whirl is lighter and Viva Glam 3 is just darker and a deeper tone, a deeper color, both kind of brown based. Since I have Whirl in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and try this one on my lips, but you saw them next to each other. So there it is. It's just like a brown kind of shade, matte. It's a matte formula, so it's a brown, I guess, 90s-esque shade. Looking at the rest of my collection, and it seems a little daunting, but putting them on my lips, but let's just go ahead. I'm just gonna grab random ones that are just laying here on my desk. I can't see the names, so I'm just gonna grab one and start. And this one is called Diva, and it is, again, a burgundy. Can you see a trend? Do I have a thing for matte burgundy lipsticks? I think this is a little bit helpful because it shows me what I have and what I don't need. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this one on my lips. So there is Diva. And unfortunately, I wiped off all of the swatches of the other matte burgundy lipsticks because I wasn't thinking. So I can't compare this one to that. This is Diva. Now moving on, just grabbing another one from my pile. This one is called Real Sexy. And it is a peach, and it is an amplified formula, and I believe that this was in a collection too. I'm not really sure, but going from a dark matte burgundy to a peach, let's see how this. Again, this is a summer shade. I wouldn't wear this right now, but it also, to me, is very reminiscent of a kind of 60s mod look. So that's real sexy. Now this one is kind of sexy. That was unexpected. I didn't mean to grab that one, but there's kind of sexy, and it is a matte formula. So just a nice peachy nude there. That's kind of sexy. Okay, this next one here is a cream sheen, and it is cream in your coffee. And there it is, another brownish toned one. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one here on my arm. Let's see if I start it there. So there's cream in your coffee. And let me get Whirl so you can see it right next to it. So cream in your coffee and Whirl. Cream in your coffee is a little bit more, I actually prefer cream in your coffee. I got it before Whirl, so I'm gonna go ahead, and it is a cream sheen. I think I already said that, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on for you. So there's cream in your coffee. And then here is another random that I just grabbed, and this is Blankety, and it's an amplified. It's just this one is kind of a cult classic, just a nude shade. So I'm gonna put that on for you. So there's Blankety, a very, very nude shade. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one because I know that there's gonna be other shades that I'm gonna wanna compare it to. So now if I can find it, I know that Myth, I have Myth, and that is also a very nude shade that I would like to compare to Blankety. Okay, so here's Myth. There's Myth. Myth is a satin. So I'm wearing Blankety on my lips, and let me go ahead and swatch Myth right next to Blankety so you can see it is a lot more peach than Blankety. Let me go ahead and put it on my lips. Okay, so there's Myth, and it is very, very nude. So I would wear a lip liner with it that would add some color and dimension to it, so it wouldn't just be like I'm wearing concealer lips. But moving on to, yeah, let's do Velvet Teddy. Velvet Teddy is a matte, and it is also one of those brownish shade mattes. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it next to these two here, Cream in Your Coffee and Whirl. So there's Velvet Teddy, Cream in Your Coffee, and Whirl. And you can see that Velvet Teddy and Whirl are like almost the same color. So if you can't get your hands on Whirl, I would say Velvet Teddy is a very good second there. Okay, so there's Velvet Teddy on my lips. Now moving on, let's see, this one is Lady Danger, and this one is a very bright, and it's a matte formula, a very bright orange red. Okay, so there's Lady Danger, a very bright red-orange shade. And then this next one is Faux, F-A-U-X, and again, it is kind of a brown, so I will swatch it here. So there's Faux, Velvet Teddy, Cream Your Coffee, and Whirl. So all very similar. This is a satin, so it's a different formula than the others. The others are all mattes. So it just comes out as more of a nude tone there, like a brownish nude. Now I'll just grab another one. This is Ruby Woo, and that's what it looks like. It is a ultra matte. Let's see, what is it? What do they call it? They just call it a matte on the tube, but I know it's like an ultra matte or something like that. I just don't recall the exact verbiage for it, but I really don't like this formula, and I really like the shade, but I don't like the formula. But I'll try it on for you. So the next one is Ruby Woo. So there is Ruby Woo, and I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it because I'm gonna compare it to Russian Red, which is my favorite red. There's Ruby Woo, and here it is on my lips. I love the color. I just don't like the formula. I can only wear it for literally like half an hour, maybe an hour tops before it starts balling up and crusting and flaking off, and it's just too dry. I don't know if it's like my body chemistry, because I know this is a cult classic and people love it, but it just doesn't work for me. So let me go ahead and put that next to Russian Red. I've mentioned it many times. So there's Ruby Woo and there's Russian Red. As you can see, Ruby Woo is a lot more orange, and I prefer Russian Red. It is a matte formula, but it's not the super matte, so it isn't as dry, and it just is smoother, and I just like the way it wears a lot better. But there are the two compared. Here's one last look at Ruby Woo, and I'm gonna put on Russian Red. Okay, so there is Russian Red, and Russian Red is my all-time favorite red lipstick. It wears a long time, it's matte, but not drying. It goes on smooth, not like Ruby Woo where you have to like press almost like you're using a crayon. And I just love it. So there's Russian Red. Now, let's see. What's the next one I want to show? Let's show Snob. Snob is a pinkish, like a lavendery kind of color, and it is in a satin finish. There is Snob. Let's move on to Syrup. Syrup is a luster finish, and it is kind of a sheer finish, but this is what it looks like there. And I will go ahead and try it on. So there is Syrup, just a nice kind of sheer glossy shade. I'm gonna try on, this is a cream sheen and this is Cream Cup. And it is, again, a nice nude shade. So there's Cream Cup. It's just a nice light pink neutral. And then this next one is a matte, and it is called Honey Love. And I love Honey Love. And I'll go ahead and swatch it next to these others because I know it looks kind of brown. But there is Honey Love next to all of the other brownish kind of nude shades that I have, so you can see that it is different. And this was, I wore this daily at some point in my life, so it's a matte formula again, and let me go ahead and try it on for you. You can see it's just a nice, really nude matte shade. This next one is called Ramblin' Rose, and it is a frost finish. And I think this is the only frost that I have shown so far, aside from the Rihanna one, and then I have another frost coming up. But this is, I don't own very many frosts because it's not a formula that I really like, but I really like this. I got this as a back to MAC, so I thought I would go outside of the box or my comfort zone and get something I wouldn't normally get. So this is Ramblin' Rose. The only other frost that I have is in the shade O, which is a brown frost. And I got it because I think I also got this as a back to MAC. So I usually, when I back to MAC things, I will get colors that aren't colors that I normally would gravitate towards or spend money on just because I want to try something new, and it's free. So this next shade is O. So there is O. It is a nice, it's a frosty shade, but it's warmer than like the Rihanna shade. Here, I'll go ahead and swatch it right next to the Rihanna Viva Glam 2 shade so you can see. Rihanna is a cooler tone taupe frost, and O is a warmer, kind of like with a burgundy a little bit in it. They are completely different when you swatch them, but they both have like a gold frost sheen to them. But there's O, and there's the Rihanna Viva Glam 2. And there is O on my lips. Now, home stretch, guys, home stretch. You guys are like, okay, whatever, but my lips are killing me. One is Vegas Volt, and it is a amplified. It's a nice coral shade. So there is Vegas Volt, a bright coral. And this one, it broke. I don't know if you could see that's like crooked, but it broke down here. Like, I want to say like the first time I used it or something, or if it was already broken when I bought it. And so I took a lighter and tried to like burn it and melt it back into place. But every time I go to use it, it's all wonky in the tube and moves around, and it's a full lipstick. So I'm not trying to like, you know, drop it or have it break off or waste it. Does anyone have any way to fix that? If you do, let me know. But anyway, this is Vegas Volt. All right, one more left. Yay, my lips are happy. And this is a matte, and it is in the shade Heroine. Heroine as in a female hero, and not as in the drug. And it is a matte purple shade. All right, so there is Heroine. I wanted to point out, if you like the shade Heroine, but you don't want to spend the money, there's a spot-on dupe for it in the Maybelline line of mattes, and the shade is called Vibrant Violet, and there it is there. And I'll go ahead and swatch these right next to each other. I actually discovered this dupe when I purchased this line of lipsticks, and I was doing a try-on for those. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these ones right next to each other so you can see that they're exactly the same, and you can get it for a fraction of the price. So can you tell which one's which here? This one is the MAC Heroine, and this one is the Maybelline Vibrant Violet. So you can see they're pretty much the same. Right, so there are all of my MAC lipsticks swatched on my lips and on my arms, so you can compare some of the shades if there are two that you wanted to see right next to each other. So I'm gonna go and moisturize my lips, and if you like my video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and you'll see more from me later. Okay, thanks, bye!